I'm actually really excited about what's going on here with asset management. We think we've been doing asset management. We haven't. We've just been doing stuff. We haven't really been making decisions on stuff, but we've been collecting a lot of good stuff. So I'll talk to you about some of the problems, and maybe it's mostly gaps is what it is. And I guess in maintenance, or actually in Caltrans, I'm the executive leadership. So those of you who say you need support from executive leadership, I'll give you a different spin on the executive leadership side. So anyways, we do have a lot of data. We have so much data we don't even know what to do with it, except for we put it in binders, and our governor just put out a press release how many things he's not going to ask us to collect anymore. So it's over 400, I think, documents that he says, you used to do it, no one cares about it, don't do it. Okay, we won't do it. So that's the things that we're looking at. And some of the things that I was impressed upon, and I wish I was in your state DOT, is you're doing asset management to get more money. We're doing asset management to protect what we have because it's getting taken, because we don't really know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and the credibility of the department is, are you sure you know what you're doing with the money you have? Yes, we're spending it here and here. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is just to justify some of that. And so, again, one of the things we have all these goals, and it means a lot to everyone. Absolutely, I see it, I saw what was in here. But the problem with that is when everyone says, yo, those are our primary things, and the things I do are related right to the goals, you can't get rid of the stuff I do. And it's a priority. It is a priority, see, safety is a priority, it's number one. Whatever I'm doing with safety should be funded. So then we have, here's some of our safety fatalities. And, well, yeah, safety is a priority, but here was our goal. Here's where we are. We're better than what it is in the nation, in the states. So should we spend so much money on safety? Who's going to have enough guts to say safety? We're spending too much. Maybe we need to redirect it to something else. But you got to watch what you wish for. Another one, wow, look at that one. That's great. What'd you do? Well, we don't know. We spent the money and the economy says, hey, looks like we have less people going. So now they're saying, hey, we can't really take credit for that. We'd love to say, yeah, we're so efficient. Because then they say, well, you're so efficient with that. Why aren't you doing it everywhere else? That's a big push right now. California's basically broke. They're looking at, hey, how can you manage? How can you do things with more efficient? We've been trying to be more efficient for the last 3 years. We'd like to say, yeah, we were so efficient, we did this. It really wasn't ours. But the stuff that Canada was talking about is, hey, watch what you wish for, watch where the things are happening. Watch some of the other stuff. We're looking at project delivery. Hey, we got milestones of where we want to be on time, on budget, that we're building the credibility that what we say we're going to do with the project we got done. The hard part is, we talked about it's a journey, sometimes it's a game. Because some of the staff are saying, hey, I don't want to get my butt whooped before, I'm on camera, I'm sorry. I don't want to get my asset in trouble. And so the hard part with that is they're delivering the project. Well, guess what? They don't want to do the stuff that's on the environmental side because it's going to delay the project. So now we're getting out stuff that may not be in the project that should have been in the project. We always say we want to have the life cycle cost. Well, life cycle cost doesn't include low bid. Low bid is where low bid state. Low bid, you may get some type of appurtenance, ITS element, or even a barrier or an attenuator that really doesn't help the maintenance staff because you're out there longer than you would be if you got the right thing. But hey, I want to be here because I don't want to get my asset in trouble. So that's how do we get across that? We want to say we want to maintain. So you got to watch out what we're doing. We want to maintain what we're saying to the public, but is it the right thing? We got to be careful with that. We also say we want to maintain certain things. Pavement condition, distressed lane miles. Yeah, we're spending about 10 to 15 million on updating our pavement management system. And when I first got the job as a division chief for maintenance, I went over to our legislative analyst's office and they said, well, who are you? And told them who I was, and they said, okay, good, you're the right person. They said, how much crack sealing did you do last year? I was only on the job 2 days, and I said, I don't know. They said, well, how much are you going to do next year? I said, I don't know. I thought I was okay because growing up in Caltrans, when you're on the witness stand, you'd rather say, I don't know. So I'm like, okay, don't lie. And they said, well, how much money do you need next year to get your payment into? I said, I don't know. The next question is, how'd you get this job? I said, I don't know. So I did know that we wanted to get into payment management system because I definitely wanted to make sure that I didn't want to say I don't know the pavement in case I got back to that group again. So we're talking about asset management, and that was one of the things we were going to talk about is pavement and bridges. But I think we do a good job in managing the asset, but not making decisions with the information we have. Talking about a journey, and okay, so yeah, it is a journey, and I think one of the things that I learned today is I think a journey is different than a vacation. A vacation, Disneyland, hey, you're going to go have a good time. You don't know what you're going to do. You know you're going to Disneyland. When you get there, great. A trip is more like kind of going to your mother-in-law's house. You know where you got to go. You're going, and it's there and back, and you're done. And a journey is kind of you don't know what's happening. You get kind of frustrated. It's like going to my Aunt Bill's house, and you figure that one out. So that's a tough one, is a journey. You don't really know where you're going, what you're doing, how you're going to do it, and you're getting frustrated on it. One of the things, and when we were talking about some of the things that we did an internal survey on taking the TAM stuff and says, where are we? What's your maturity rating? From the numbers you are here, we're very immature. We really don't have the stuff. We have information, we have ideas, and one of the tools that I think that we have and we want to talk about is our brain. That's our hard part, is changing that culture. We have people that don't tell us what their priorities are. We can set our own, except for they do have to tell us certain things. You have to use a certain amount of asphalt rubber pavement. You have to use cool pavement. Now you got to use recycled pavement. Then you got to go ahead and you got to fix all the ADA stuff, and you're mandated to spend $25 million of your money on ADA stuff. Oh, by the way, you also have to spend $66 million because we have air quality issues with some of your equipment. Oh, and then we also have to do a reduction of equipment. And I know you're managing it, but we have to take X amount. How much can we take? We said you could take 864 pieces of equipment. They said, that's great, we need 1,200. Oh, well, thanks for letting us manage. Within the department, we had Coco. Coco is our asset management person, although you said I'm really not. It's Coco, as you know. She's the one that ran the meeting. And so when we go ahead and we talk about asset management, we wanted to do multi-objective optimization. How do we know what things should be prioritized? Is it just pavement? Because the pavement people say, yes, it is. The other people say, no, it isn't. And so we tried to do that. It was like pushing a rope. People didn't want to make that change. They said, no, it's mine. I need this. Culturally, we don't do that. And so we had a hard time with that. So then we said, okay, we're not going to do multi-objective optimization. We're just going to have the leadership decide what the priorities are. So I asked my director, what's the priority? He says, my priority is this. Okay, so we have an executive shop committee meeting to tell them what the new priority is and how we're going to shift money, and we zeroed out stuff. And people got pissed because they weren't invited to the meeting. Well, are you on the executive shop committee? No, then you shouldn't be on the meeting. So if you can't do multi-objective optimization, how are you going to go ahead and do it 51% of the vote says to do? And we tend to say that, yeah, let's go ahead and executive management says that we do it. But I think we turn it from a journey to sometimes a game. Because we learned when we did pavement, we said pavement rehab. We had rehab projects. We said we want to make sure we're spending more money on pavement when we do rehab projects. So we said, how can we do that? We can say, let's go ahead and whoever gets the best lane miles, dollars per lane mile, that's the ones we're going to fund to protect our assets, if it's the right strategy. Okay, so the game was, it seemed like it was okay, but the problem was, people took the bridges out of the rehab projects. So it looked like they got funded, then the bridge people are saying, hey, now our bridge stuff's going to hell. Now we can't go in, now we're going out twice, now we're spending twice as much money. So those are the hard parts that we had with doing it. One of the things that we have a hard time with is our locals. Our locals are saying, hey, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and spend some extra money to get you a new lane, a new truck lane. Okay, great. But what are the other stuff that comes with it? And it's always nice in terms of credit cards, and I think we historically, culturally do it. It's always nice as a credit card to buy something, but you really don't want to see the bill. It's always nice to have a free puppy, but there is no such thing as a free puppy. Someone's got to feed it, clean it, bathe it, pick up after it. But that's just our culture. We want it now and don't want to pay for it later. My kids think that the microwave's too slow. Until I gave them a TV dinner and told them you cook it with the oven. Now they appreciate the microwave. But I think one of the biggest things, and I'll wrap it up as a challenge, is our attitude and our mindset. Who's going to set our priorities? Who's going to do it? How do you know when you get there? I think the frustration is, there's always going to be frustration. And I think one of the things you talk about in organizationally, and we are organizationally going to try to move things differently. The problem is you still have the same people and the same attitude no matter how you move organizationally. And the hard part is, that I think the value of not having it organizationally, it's more accountability, is because when you organizationally do it, and if Coco's in charge of asset management, whose job is it? It's Coco's job. Oh yeah, I believe in asset management, that's Coco's job. Well, you own the pavement, but she's asset management, that's Coco's job. How do you get down to the accountability that it's your job, it's ours as a department, because luckily we don't have someone that tells us what we have to do, when we have to do it, and how to do it. We can't even agree what we should be doing when we know asset management is a requirement. And in times of this, I think it's best to do it now, to cover yourself, to get what you need, so when there is time to ask for something, you build the credibility and the stuff that's there is right. How do you do that? I got a call the other day from a district director. We got a new tunnel coming in, and obviously now we only have one, so they know who it is. He calls and he says, hey Steve, I need more people because the tunnel is going to be done pretty soon. I said, okay, redirect. No, I need more people. I don't have a chance to get more people. I got a note just the other day, we're going to have, well actually yesterday, and Coco just found out today, within the department we're going to reduce about 1,300 positions. Not a layoff, but a position. It's a vacant position. So now we need 16. How many ever do I need for other stuff related to pavement or to bridge or to whatever, the stormwater, to air quality? When you have vacancies and you can't get people on board, how do you manage those assets? Talking to the people in the field, they don't like the word asset, and they don't like the word management. And they don't like to tell you tell them what to do when you see them once on a Monday before they have a 4-day training class. How do you get it down to the people that actually do the work? I have never been to the crew room and asked, hey, what are you doing? Are you sure that's the right thing to do? We have all the performance measures, and in some places, at one time, we had a performance measure for picking $60 million worth of litter a year, which is pretty sad. But we spent the last month and a half wanting to know how many people, and if we needed to drag some engineers outside to pick up litter to make sure we met $60 million worth of effort to pick up litter. And then the maintenance says, if it's so important to you, why is it so important to you when you're exposing us more to traffic when we should be doing some other stuff? This last year, not only with issues with stormwater, air quality, we had 3 people killed on the maintenance side, out in the work zone. And then we have to make a shift, and we made a shift to take away from safety of roadside to pavement. And where does that fit into asset management? That's the right thing to do. It's not the right message. And a lot of people are pissed. So you got to watch what you wish for, watch what you show, watch what you do. But if you say you're going to do it and you have to do it, you better do it based on principle of asset management, but it may not make everybody happy. I've learned I have 6 kids and a wife. I don't ask them where they want to go to dinner. I tell them we're going to Olive Garden. You have the option to figure out what you want for dinner, because I'll have 6 pissed off people, and it turns into a journey. So, that's it.